WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa. A Town Square Media Station. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Alabama 1st and 10 on the 12. Again, Houston. He's got a hole. He's over. Alabama touchdown.
I'm just wondering if your listeners know how good a football player you were. I can still see you playing that fullback, knocking those players out of the way. And I think I could have run behind you.
Martin, I can remember when we came to Summer, and you were playing fullback up there. And I saw you in the weight room and watched you work out in the weight room. But you could pick up, you were strong enough to pick up the whole weight room. I wanted to take it, and I ran back to the biggest mistake we ever made.
The Martin Houston Show with national championship winning fullback Martin Houston, giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9 on your radio dial. Martin Houston live broadcasting right there on Facebook and on YouTube. Also, don't forget about at Martin Houston 35 on Twitter. You can go out and catch the show in all those places or stay tuned right here on Tide 100.9. Live and local on your home for Alabama sports. This is the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama sports, your show, your team. Give us a call. Let us hear from you this morning at 205-342-9904, 205-342-9904. The Taco Casa hotline is open for business. Once again, that's 205-342-9904. Let's get your thoughts, your predictions for the game today. Looking at Alabama wins if you want to complete that statement, or Georgia wins if. Either one of those, you can call up and complete that statement. Also, we want to look at the key injuries. What are the key injuries this week? We've talked a lot about B-Rob, but there's several other key injuries, and some maybe even more important than B-Rob. Is there an injury that would hurt the Crimson Tide even more if B-Rob is not able to go or not able to go full speed? We'll talk about that. What's the strategy and philosophy for Alabama offense and defense if they're going to take down the Georgia Bulldogs? It's kind of unusual to be talking about it from this side, as Alabama is the underdog for the first time in 92 games. First time in 92 games. Last time Alabama was an underdog was against Georgia and Mark Richt in the blackout game, and Alabama took care of business. Will they have the same success in the state of Georgia in the Mercedes-Benz Georgia Dome? Call me up and tell me what you think. Also, can Bama get in with a loss? If Bama loses, is all hope lost? Or what's the scenario? Have you thought about a scenario that gets Bama in, even if they were to lose a close game to the vaunted number one Georgia Bulldogs? I got a quick scenario I might run down and get your thoughts on. Not far stretch, but would take the stars lining up for it to happen. We'll talk about that as well. And last night, I don't know if you were watching the the Cowboys and the Saints game. I didn't watch the entire game, but watched a little bit of it and saw a struggling running game against the Saints. And I saw the Cowboys do something that changed the outlook of the running game. They did something that we have been asking for. So we want to talk about that as well. So got a lot we want to get to. But before we get to that, I want to remind you that this is the day that the Lord has made. So let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. Be that difference maker wherever you go. Good morning, Joe. How you doing, sir?
Oh, doing great today, Martin. Excited for Friday. Got a big trip to Atlanta planned today for some reason.
Oh man, you're going over to Atlanta? Well, if you get a chance, there's a big game going on. Try to stop by and see if you can find your ticket. So
I'm looking for one, so we'll see.
All right. Hey, listen, a couple quick sidebar. One is my high school quarterback coaches the Piedmont Bulldogs. So have to give a shout out to Steve Smith on a personal level for winning another state championship. I think he has been really, really dominant. A dominant coach at Piedmont High School, Joe, and it's of course not known, statewide, but him coaching at Piedmont would be like Jay Barker deciding to go and coach at Auburn, and then coming back and continually beating Alabama and winning national titles. Piedmont was our arch rival, 16 miles apart, but we were like in Cherokee County, Calhoun County. So it's always difficult for me to congratulate him, because when I congratulate him, I'm congratulating what would be the equivalent of me congratulating Auburn for winning. But he has been extremely successful there. Another quick sidebar, and then we'll get into the conversation. Did you notice that Tyson got benched for holding the kicks?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I had several people say, why were they so quick to bench him versus versus not benching some of the other guys? Like, why did the coaches not do that? Did you hear Saban's response? Because I think people. Go ahead.
Well, I heard him yesterday talk about the holder, how it was really going to be up to Will Reichert, but no, not necessarily off benching guys.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about, because
Okay.
that was a specific question Joe was being asked of why are these coaches inconsistent with who they bench and who they don't, and holder is one of those positions that's different. Like a coach is going to make the decision. A running back can't go and tell the coach, hey, bench that offensive guard because he's not blocking, or the quarterback can't say bench the right tackle because of this. They just don't have that. But kickers consistently can change their holder if they become uncomfortable with the holder. And I think that's what we saw. Because Will Reichert had missed, I don't know if we thought about it, but Will Reichert had missed as many kicks in his last few kicks as he had missed his entire career. And so something must have been going on before that for him to make that decision. Because I think it was as much about Will Reichert as it was about Saban them pulling him out, especially when you hear what he said this week, meaning that he's going to make that decision. So let's get to Curtis Moore. Curtis Moore, you're in with the Martin Houston Show. What's on your mind, sir?
Hey, what's going on? Morning, fellas.
Morning.
Morning. Hey, I've been out
all week for a little bit with work and stuff like that, but I've been listening to your playback, so still been supporting you, man.
Well, I've been missing your comments, but I'm glad to hear you with us.
Yeah, but I just want to comment on the game. I know we're moving forward to Georgia, obviously that's tomorrow, but
no, you're fine.
Game, I want to share my experience a little bit there. I was sitting, although I was over there on the Alabama side, there's still a lot of Auburn people there, and all they do is, they're making little comments like heckling and this and that and the other, but I don't say much. I just sit there and wait for the outcome, and I ain't had nothing to say, the whole game, because for the first 59 minutes, nothing was going right. And but at the end of the game, man, it just was like they just became Georgia fans all of a sudden. Y'all ain't gonna beat Georgia, and like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
Come on, good guys.
Yeah, that's a bad sign for your team when you start cheering for your enemy and using your enemy to try to get your other enemy to get back at your arch enemy. So there's been a lot of Auburn fans this week referencing what Georgia's going to do despite their ability to do it.
I saw people crying. It was a crazy moment. I'm like, what the heck, man? People crying, people just stand leave the stadium. They're just like mourning or something. I was like, and I know it was a heartbreaking loss, but I was like, all that stuff they were talking and
Hey, Curtis and Joe, you can come in on this. I have said for years, since I've been on the radio, Alabama fans do not rush the field. It's just something. I was trying to think, is there a time when Alabama fans have rushed the field after a win? If we didn't rush the field
I don't ever remember.
if we didn't rush the field as a fan base on Saturday when we beat Auburn, I don't know if there will be a better time or an expected time than that. Joe, are you familiar in your lifetime that you can remember, seeing Alabama fans rush the field?
No, I've never seen that in my life.
Isn't that crazy to think about, though, that this is your if it didn't happen Saturday, I don't know what it would take, for us to rush the field. And to me, that speaks volumes right there of your mindset as a fan base and as a program.
Yeah.
You got anything else, man?
Yeah, just one more thing. I had a couple more things, but it's all right.
No, you go ahead, man. I'll tell you when you're out of time. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Again, I was listening to the playbacks and everything, and I know you and your son, you're talking about B-Rob and stuff like that, and it is true. B-Rob can do more things than what people think, but this is what people see, I guess. When I'm playing in Alabama. That's just all what they can see. But I was a little upset when I'm at the game. And do you remember that one point where Bryce threw the ball at him? And it wasn't even high. It was kind of like his helmet, but it was very catchable. He was wide open on that 3rd and 2, and he dropped it. And then the next play, Bryce has to follow on the ball on 4th and 2 or whatever it was. And then we turned the ball over. But I'm like, if he catches that freaking ball, and I know Brian, my little cousin, can do that. If he just catches the ball, man.
Yeah.
That's a damn.
Yeah.
That play doesn't happen. So I'm like, I'm a little.
Yeah. Well, I understand that it hit him right in the face. It hit him right in the face mask, and I didn't think he was looking, but when they replayed it, he was looking right at him. I don't know what happened. It was like he never saw the ball though. And that was a bad drop, an untimely drop.
It was.
Yeah.
And I know he's a little cut. I'm crazy.
Yeah. You have to criticize that.
But and then one last thing, with the Georgia Alabama game, being that Georgia kind of, they've been on this high. They've been hearing from the media, they're number one, this and that, and basically if they lose, they pretty much are 100% in. They kind of have a mulligan in the game. I don't see how they would be even out of the playoff.
Right.
So do you think that they will kind of go in? I know they're going to go in hard to win, but do you think our intensity in Alabama, like we gotta win because we already lost Texas A&M? Do you think our intensity is going to edge theirs even more? I mean, to have kind of a mulligan.
I think it has the potential to, but based on something Kirby said, it seems that they're engaged. He said he's having to kind of pipe down their enthusiasm this week at practice. So it's a possibility, but I think that it's definitely, if there's ever a time that Alabama is going to have momentum early and an advantage over the other team, it would be this game. And so I expect that to be the case. But, Georgia has a lot to play for since they've lost to us 6 years in a row. And Kirby know that he's dominated 2 of the 3 games. 2.5 of the 3 games he's played us, he's been the dominant team for, 10 of those quarters. And yet he's 0-3. So, and I'm sure they know that. And if we can jump on them early, I think we can get in their head.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave it to it, and
all right, man.
I'll let someone else, comment and all that. But it's good talking to y'all, and I'm still listening on the live.
All right. Roll Tide. Thanks, Curtis. All right, Curtis down at Auburn Jordan-Hare Stadium, giving us a little inside scoop on what it was like in that stadium. Hey, we're talking Alabama, Georgia. You're welcome to get in on the conversation. He mentioned B-Rob. Is B-Rob the major injury, or is there something else or someone else we need to be even more concerned with that may not play in this game? We'll talk about that on the other side right here on the Martin Houston Show. Don't forget about Overflow Express Wash, overflowexpresswash.com. Go check them out. They'll help you keep your car clean inside and out.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, we got a wreck on Scotland involving an overturned vehicle near the Ramada Inn at Longview Road. Lane blockage and delays. Everything else looks good. Just watch out for the fog. And if you see other conditions, give us a call. Townsend Nissan is getting ready for Christmas with some real gifts for you. Go see them today. I'm Captain Ray.
The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and get you back on the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
This is Alex Lorenz from the Better Business Bureau serving Central and South Alabama, and we want you to shop safe and shop smart this holiday season. The mix of product shortages and increased online shopping likely means more online shopping scams, which are one of the top scams facing consumers year after year. So remember to research before you buy. Look out for fake websites. Beware of making quick buys on social media, and use your credit card when shopping online. For more holiday shopping tips, visit bbb.org.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The weather stays unseasonably mild through the weekend. Lots of sunshine today, the high 75. Mostly clear tonight, the low 53. Tomorrow, partially sunny, the high also 75. Sunday, a mix of sun and clouds, a small chance of a shower, the high 74. I'm James Spann of the ABC 3240 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 43 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Scott Smith and Sophomore Design, doing business for 17 plus years, specializing in graphic design services, commercial printing, promotional products, advertising specialties, and so much more. Basically, any and everything you would need to advertise, promote, promote, and grow your business. Through strong partnerships, strong customer service, and creative ideas, they'll help you market and grow your business. Give Scott a call at 205-292-4680 or email scottis@comcast.net and visit them online at southmarkdesign.com.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9. Don't forget about Alabama won. Alabama won. If you're listening in some of our remote areas, or you're within the Tuscaloosa area and you're looking to purchase some land or ag equipment, you need to check out alabama1.org. We got a great promotion going on for land and ag right now. You can go to alabama1.org. That's alabama1.org, and you can find out more about what's happening at Alabama One. That's alabama1.org. Alabama One together. All right, let's get back to the conversation. As we were going to break, I had mentioned the B-Rob injury and whether or not he was the top guy, but we got Robert from Mobile. Robert, you're in with the Martin Houston Show. What's on your mind, sir?
Hey, Martin.
Hey, now.
Well, you asked the question, what it needs to happen for Alabama to win?
Yes, sir.
I think we all know the answer is offensive line and play call. If the offensive line, has their best game of the season, and the play calling is Bill O'Brien's best game of the season, then we can win this game. We can do quite well. So it all depends on, all the problems are offensive line. And if it holds, if it can keep people off Bryce Young, which he's done a really good job of it all season, if they keep this Georgia defense off of them, and, Bill O'Brien starts doing the screens and the draws and, getting the ball more to the tight end, then we can win the game. All the things we have been doing all season, our biggest problem is if we can fix that, then we can win. That's what's going to come down to.
Yeah, which Alabama offense shows up, the productive one or the struggling one? And the question becomes, as you said, how do we determine struggle? Will we come out and try to run right at Georgia like we've done everybody else, or will we mix it up? Did you watch any of the Cowboys-Saints game last night?
Yeah, my wife forces me to watch those games.
Okay, well, good, because you can relate to what I'm talking about. At one point, we can learn two things from this, and not to the extent that the Saints did it. Easy thing is, even with them knowing that Taysom Hill was going to run the ball, the Cowboys could not stop him from running the ball. Okay? Because he's that elusive. Well, we can't run it to the extent that the Saints did, but I think we can have some of those key first downs that the Saints would get on 3rd and 1 or 2, 2 to 3 yards, when they would drop back to pass and then he would run it, quarterback draw. We could learn from that. But more important than that, at one point he had 54 yards and Ezekiel Elliott and Pollard had 19 combined yards. Okay? The Cowboys come out and guess what they run, Robert? They run a toss sweep to Pollard. Pollard makes one guy miss and goes 58 yards.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I saw that one.
Oh, you're a Saints guy. My bad. My bad.
I'm a Steelers fan.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, hey, listen, I grew up a Cowboys fan and then went to the Steelers, so I get you. But
hey, like you said.
But
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, but think when that one play, they don't run the sweep very often, if hardly at all, right? He goes 58 yards. That was the first time since 2017 that the Cowboys had a run over 50 yards. The Cowboys have had one of the most dominant running backs in the league, right? In Ezekiel Elliott. But if you run him inside all the time, like they do, what happens? He's going to get 4 or 5 yards to carry, and he's going to be good and tough. But he's not going to have the big plays, and that's what we've been saying about Brian. But they do that on that drive, and they score. They come back the next drive, and they go, that worked for Pollard. Let's run Ezekiel, not on the toss sweep, but let's run him on the slant to the outside. Boom. He gets about 10, 12 yards off the left side. Then they come back off of that play, and they run a play action off of that same slant action. And what's his name completes a long pass. Then they run a jet sweep. And I said, man, undoubtedly, they must be listening to the same thing that the Alabama fans have been yelling. In back-to-back drives, the Cowboys did exactly what we said Alabama needs to do Saturday. In all 3 plays, all 4 plays, I'm sorry, the sweep, the slant, the play action off the slant, and the jet sweep all got 7 or more yards.
Yeah, and again, like we've said before, that's a reflection on Bill O'Brien and his inability to adjust. And, well, at least that's what he's been showing right now. Now, hopefully, they're saving all this for Georgia. And it's just a hope that we've just been lulled into thinking, well, Alabama just doesn't do that. So maybe we'll see it now because it's either do or die now.
Yeah.
But like you guys mentioned, the first time was Georgia to have to win this game. Because, they're the ones going to have a championship in 19 years since I was in high school.
Yeah.
They're the ones who have lost 6 whatever you said in the road in Alabama.
After leading it,
in the fourth quarter.
They've led all the last 6 games they've lost us. They have been leading at halftime on every game.
Exactly. So all the pressure's on them, and so we'll see how they can handle that.
Yeah.
But like I said, first time in a long time, Alabama's playing with house money.
Yeah.
So hey, be creative, do things, make punts, and in unusual spots and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You might lose, but. No, well, that's because we're supposed to lose the game anyway. When's the last time we said that about Alabama?
It's been 92 games ago.
Really?
Thanks, Robert. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what you got a prediction? Are we gonna pull it out? Oh, I guess Robert got out of there. Hey, let's get to Hal from Michigan. Hal, you in with the Martin Houston Show? What's on your mind, sir?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Wanted to call in. I had a question for you, Martin.
Go ahead.
You there? Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Back in the day when I played football in high school, we had a technique of I was an offensive guard, and we had a technique that we used. I know Alabama knows about it, but it was called a rolling block. And I understand I had to do a little research that college football allows the rolling block just so long as it's between the tackles. I wonder if that technique can be used on this Jordan fella that's enormous. Cut him off at the ankles.
Well,
cut him off at the ankles. His ankles ain't any bigger than mine.
Yeah. The
only low, take him down, lay on him if you have to.
The only concern, Hal, with that, the only concern with going low on Jordan is that he is so athletic for a big man. That other than Evan Neal, he is going to be more athletic than anybody we got, and he may be even more athletic than Evan Neal. And he has great hands, he has great feet, he has great power, he has great agility, he has great quickness in areas. And so I don't know if going low on him, especially with this thought in mind, are you talking about from a pass pro or run pro standpoint?
A run pro.
The only concern from a pass pro, I know it would be an out because he's just so tall, he'd get his hands back up, and Bryce so short. Yeah. But from a run standpoint, I don't know. You're saying that they said that it could be used as long as no one else.
It can be used between the tackles. It is legal between the tackles.
Yeah.
To roll blocking, cut his legs out from under him.
Yeah.
And we always used, once we got him down, we'd lay down on him.
The problem is he might fall on top of them.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, like I said,
I'm no expert.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying he is just so athletic. He is so athletic that I would be afraid that he would take those big hands and just shove the guy to the ground, and then be free to annihilate, whatever the run play. Go ahead.
I know he's a force to be reckoned with. But I'm just trying to think. When I was playing ball, we had these big, huge fellas in front of me, and I wasn't all that big. I was 230 pounds, but 5'11", and I would roll them out.
Yeah.
If they come in, roll them out, they'd be on the ground, didn't lay on him. Just take him down.
Hey, it's what Georgia Tech does week in and week out. I mean, what you're talking about, and they do it effectively. I guess what we need to do, Hal, is go back and look and see if Georgia Tech was able to do it at all, and that would give you an idea of whether or not it may work, because they just played Georgia Tech, and that's the way. Georgia Tech doesn't do that as much anymore. Let me try to think who would have.
Army does it.
Yeah, Army does it. Air Force does it. And you're right. It totally works if you're able to execute it. But I don't know how good. My concern is how good will we be at it, and how athletic he is. The other thing is, to me, what you have to do if he's at tackle, you got to help with him. You have to,
right.
You have to slide protect. You have to double team. You have to use his athletic ability against him. But I heard someone say this, that from a pure pass rush standpoint, they're not like elusive, agile necessarily pass rushers. They're just powerful. And then they add the blitz with Nakobe Dean and company, and that's when they become really dangerous. And that's why the way to slow those guys down is you actually go at them. And I know that sounds crazy. You throw the screens right at them. You throw the screens right at them, and you draw right where they're coming from. So that's what we're gonna have to do to show those guys. I mean, slow those guys down. And we have to chip.
I'm watching.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say, and the other thing is
quite a bit.
Okay.
And I've seen him. He stands you up. He stands you up. His upper body strength will take you down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to go low, in my opinion, to take his balance away.
Yeah. And hey, listen, I can promise you that works, even if it's not cut blocking. You're talking about, I was 5'10", 230, 230, 235, and I played fullback, which was a lineman that got to run the ball every once in a while in the Stallings philosophy. And my biggest thing was leverage. And that meant that I was getting lower than him. I didn't necessarily cut all the time, but I was getting low enough that I could get in there. So I got to get out of here, Hal. But man, that's a great point, and we'll be looking forward to see if they do anything to try to slow those big guys down. Hey, thanks for calling, man. Keep. Hey, now what I need you.
With you, Martin.
Hey, Hal, and what I need you to do is get Iowa over Michigan. Now I need you to pull that through.
I'm gonna be rooting for those Hawkeyes real hard.
Yeah, well, so if we can get Michigan out, that gives us even a chance, and we'll have a couple other things go right, and we might get in even if we were to lose a close one. But anyway, thanks, Hal. We'll talk to you later.
All right, roll tide.
Roll tide. All right, let's get the break here. Coming back on the other side, we'll continue the conversation. Love to hear your thoughts this morning. 205-342-9904. Alabama and Georgia. It's the eve of one of the most anticipated Alabama games in quite a while. What you got and who you got. We'll talk about it right here on the Martin Houston Show.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, we got a wreck on Scotland involving an overturned vehicle near the Ramada Inn at Longview Road. Lane blockage and delays. Everything else looks good. Just watch out for the fog. And if you see other conditions, give us a call. Townsend Nissan is getting ready for Christmas with some real gifts for you. Go see them today. I'm Captain Ray.
Hello, this is Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show, and I want to tell you about one of our great sponsors, Overflow Express Wash. Their mission is to provide great customer service with a showroom clean car and an exceptional customer service experience. They have the basic car wash that starts at $7, but you need to check out the premium wash packages, which start as low as $12 and go up to $20. They also have a membership wash club that you can get for starting at $23.99, going up to $39.99. In other words, just double the regular premium package, drop a penny, and you can be one of the great members of Overflow Express Wash. My family and I keep our cars looking good inside and out by using Overflow Express Wash. They're located on Scotland Boulevard right next door to Alabama 1, or you can find them online at overflowexpresswash.com. Andy Phillips and his team look forward to making you a part of their team.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 50% off during their Cyber Monday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Nick Saban calls it the process. John Maxwell said that everything rises and falls on it. And Coach Wooden said it's what you learn after you think you know it all that makes the difference. What am I talking about? Leadership and personal development. Is your organization, your school, your church, your family, are they receiving the proper level of leadership development and personal development? If not, the Empowerment Center for Leadership and Mentoring can help you with that. We have our Pep Talks, which is a 1 to 1.5 hour lunch and learn, which we can customize to meet your needs, or we have some topics that we present that we know can help your organization. And if you're looking for one-on-one mentoring and coaching, we can also assist you with that. Visit peptalks35.com. That's peptalks35.com, or send an email to martin@martinhouston.org. That's the Empowerment Center for Leadership and Mentoring.
Welcome back to the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team, on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Jed Cohen. I feel like Dallas has a chance for a huge game. I feel like Kirby and company will try to double team Mr. Anderson. Will the Terminator be the difference maker in this game, Mr. Will Anderson? Will he prove to be unblockable, showing Kirby and others how they missed out on him? Late bloomer into his senior year and took off like gangbusters, and Alabama got what I believe to be the best defensive player in the game today. But They got a pretty good one in Jordan Davis, as Curtis Moore II said. Coming out of high school was a 3-star, but he was a 6'6" basketball player whose mom said, hey, why don't you try your hands at football? Think mom knows best. He's turned out to be a pretty good one. Let's go to Curtis Lewis. Curtis Lewis, you're in with the Martin Houston Show. What's on your mind, sir?
Hey, Mark. Yeah,
Hey.
I definitely think Jordan Davis is a great ball player, but Jordan Davis is also only a 2-down lineman. He doesn't play on 3rd down, so he's a 2-down lineman.
Yeah. And hey, listen, I think that, like I said, if you can catch him,
once you make the first down, quickly get back to the line and call the next play, then that will keep Davis out of the play. And we're going to have to be able to, like you said, also, is we got to spread that ball around. We got to get we definitely got to get the screen game going. But I do believe that keeping those guys moving from sideline to sideline and keeping Davis occupied would be the best thing. Now, do I think putting your head down about Davis' knees, talking about a cut block is a great idea? By no means possible. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm not going to take a knee to the helmet and I'm sitting there thinking I'm Batman on the sideline. That's just not going to happen. But you do have to, you're also going to have to minimize him. And that's the only way you're going to minimize that kid is to keep him off the field. And you're going to do that by converting on 3rd down and playing fastball with him. And if you're not playing fastball with them, they give them guys time to set up and make that defensive line changes. Then, yeah, we're probably going to get beat. But we already know our offensive line is weak. We don't expect them to get strong in the last game all of a sudden. They keep peeled.
And Curtis, and here's my point. I know we've talked a lot about Brian Robinson being out injured, but is Dalcourt being out a much bigger deal with McLaughlin at center? I mean, you have to wonder, did he play great? No. Did he play bad? No. But is he ready to take on Jordan Davis if Dalcourt is not back? I mean, that, to me, I'm more concerned with the way we play right now, Curtis. Think about how we play. And what is that? We don't. Now, this is based on if we don't move the pocket, okay? If we do what we've been doing, he literally steps up in the pocket, right? Well, if Jordan Davis is right in the middle, and he's and McLaughlin can't stop him, because I think he'll push McLaughlin back. I think he'll push the pocket back if McLaughlin's in there. He's gonna push it back either way, but I think even more so with McLaughlin, and I could be wrong. I'm concerned about that because now that stops even what he's done. Bryce has done well when he steps up in the pocket, runs a little bit, and then throws it. With Davis in there against the young center, I think we're at a mismatch, and that hurts us even more.
It does, that does. But like you were saying, though, if you roll that pocket and Bryce is still able to step up at that point, Davis won't be in front of him.
That's right.
And again, he's not in on 3rd down anyway. So that number 95 and that number 88 is more of a concern to me than Davis is. Those guys can run, and they can just dominate the line way more than Davis does. They got 5 guys up there.
And don't forget about 44, and don't forget about 17. That's why I said you cannot. Davis is the most dominant at what he does. I don't think anybody does what he does any better than what he does and what's asked of him. I don't think anybody does it any better. But as you said, there's ways to, if you move the pocket, minimizes him when he's in there. You can run away from him if you get the ball on the edge, or if you use speed sweeps, or if you use screens and draws. But if you do the way we've been doing, Curtis, he is going to have a Heisman day for a defensive lineman. If we don't.
Like Fred. Exactly, we do that.
Yep.
And I'm happy that Bill, and I'm really hoping that Bill O'Brien knows that, and I'm going to give him some credit. I think Bill O'Brien's smaller than what he may have done in his previous play calling,
But the one that kills me is Barone. What is Barone doing? And I heard some rumblings. I don't know if they're true or not, but I'm just going to say I heard some rumblings about our coaching staff. Have you heard any rumblings about our coaching staff?
I'd heard that those two were going to. If I've heard that if O'Brien gets a job, Marone is going with him. You know they're family.
That's a blessing.
They're in-laws. So, but hey, let me ask you this, Curtis. I think like two things. One is Oots is still out as well, and I think we saw that show up in a big way the other day in our short yardage. What were we 0 for 3 on fourth down, or 0 for 4, something like that on fourth down? So that Oops not being in and being able to go to that big package, I think hurt, because the reality of it is the guy who made the tackle on that play with Trey when Trey went in would have been Trey Sanders got tackled, would have been blocked by the fullback where we tried to block him from a tight end close to the line of scrimmage versus a fullback coming up and picking that guy up, and he would have had time to get in front of him, and it would have been a big run. The other thing is do what now?
They may put the more Kennedy in that point in place of boosting those big packages. Though, you think that's possible?
I hope they have something I hope we don't go into the game again without having a backup for that big package, because chances are you're gonna have some short yardage situations in this game, and hopefully we can take advantage of that. The other thing, Curtis, is I've hated the 5 wides in the goal line. And then bringing it back in. But if we're going to run on the edge, I think starting in 5 wides can be a good thing for us for this reason. It moves them out of the pocket. It spreads them out. And then we move that back into the backfield. And now they got to adjust a little bit. And then you can go back out to the edge if they over adjust. Because normally when we come back in, you shrink everything back down, and then you can get back outside. But it shows you whether they're in man or not. It shows you whether they're in man or zone, and then it gives you the ability, because you have it makes them have to come out in a dime nickel or a dime package. To your point, are they going to have Davis in there? On when we run nickel. Remember how people used to do Mount Cody? They got Mount Cody out of the game by coming out in a 4 and 5 wide all day.
Yeah, and that gives us great running lanes for the quarterback, Bryce, or whoever's playing quarterback down at that point too.
Yeah.
So that gives an extra block if they run it that get down on the goal line.
Yeah. So I'm talking about use it the whole game. I'm saying use 4 or 5 wides to make them play dime or nickel the entire time. And at least get and go fast, and maybe you get some of those big defense. If they stay with their base and have those big guys in, then it gives us an advantage, because we're going to have a mismatch somewhere if they don't adjust to our dime, our 4 and 5 wides, and so we can take advantage of the pass if they leave the run in. If they go to try to stop the pass, then it gives us an advantage on the run.
Do you think that with that particular type of offense throughout the field, though, with Bryce running it, is that more of a plus for us with Bryce back there? Because we know Bryce ain't the most physical little fella in the world. Or is that the next that we're making him kill?
It can be, Curtis. I think it can be if they're playing man, because if they're playing man, you're going to be running those guys off. It prevents them from being able to run as much spy defense, because now you got to get enough guys to cover in space, so it makes it more difficult to have a spy per se, unless you're pure man to man. And then if Georgia's defense goes man to man against us, and we move Bryce I'll take us all day long. Even a guy spying Bryce in a 5 wide, I'll take us, because I don't think that their DBs and linebackers can run with our five wides consistently all day long. And it wears them out over the course of the game, and then you get some advantages late in the game as well.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. And if we can keep this game close, I think we got a chance in the fourth quarter.
So
if we don't keep the game close, we're going to have a hard time making comebacks on these guys.
We
keep it close. Give us a shot at the end. I think we could get them.
I hope we're not chasing. You got a prediction? You ready to jump on the Bama wagon yet?
No, I predicted Georgia 34, Bama 17. Keep it close.
All right. Appreciate it, Curtis. Have a good one. All right. Coming back on the other side, we'll get our put the finishing touches on this edition of the Martin Houston Show. I'll give you my final thoughts as well, right here on the Martin Houston Show.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, no active wrecks. Traffic pretty light around town, but watch out for foggy conditions in some areas of West Alabama. Please slow down and be careful. If you see other conditions, give us a call, 205-886-8886. Townsend Nissan is getting ready for Christmas with some real gifts for you. Go see them today. I'm Captain Ray.
Here's what's trending on the Tuscaloosa thread.
Good Friday morning, now that a case of Omicron COVID-19 variant has been diagnosed in the United States, Alabama hospitals are keeping a close eye for potential spread to our state. State Health Officer Dr. Scott Harris says the variant could not occur at a worse time with holiday gatherings happening, but he does have advice for a safe holiday.
Enjoy yourself, spend time with your family, but use common sense, and above all, please get vaccinated.
There have been no cases of Omicron identified in Alabama. I'm Don Hartley, Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
Hello, this is Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show, and I want to tell you about Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing. If you're looking for a way to add value to your home, make your flower beds pop, make your landscaping stand out from your neighbors, then Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing can help you do just that. They have numerous styles, but they feature the Moroccan Stone Curb series, which includes 4 great styles and unlimited color choices. That's Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing. They are the one that can help you stand out from your neighbors. Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing, 205-331-6823. You may also find yourself with the need for a custom size stone or custom shaped stone. Then Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing can help with that as well. Paul Fuller and his team are waiting on your call right now for that free quote. And if you tell them that Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show told you to stop by, you'll get a big discount. So call Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing at 205-331-6823 or visit them online at Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing LLC.
Is finding seasonal help on your wish list? You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform for interviewing, screening, and hiring high-quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Holiday season in Tuscaloosa. It's time to cheer on the Crimson Tide. Another home team you can get behind is BMW of Tuscaloosa. This Christmas, consider the gift of a lifetime. An immaculate state-of-the-art BMW. Their starting lineup of 2022 BMWs is stacked with all-stars, including 7 sports activity vehicles, each crafted to balance dynamic power, spacious interior, and impeccable design in ways only BMW can. Visit BMWofTuscaloosa.com or stop by to get to know your hometown BMW team. The sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
All right, welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. Man, it's game time for me. This means this is the last time I get to talk before Alabama takes on Georgia. Well, at least on my show. Sure, I'll be talking plenty off the air and as we get ready to lead up to that game. But Alabama takes on Georgia. Can they get it done? Yes, but I'm going to take a quick sidebar. Bama actually still has a chance to get into this thing even with a close loss. And here's the scenario, and it's crazy, but are any of these outlandish thoughts? If Houston, which is one of the top defenses in the country, is able to beat Cincinnati, they're out. Baylor beats Oklahoma State, very, very possible for that to happen. And Iowa upsets Michigan. And all of a sudden, Bama would be, Joe, your number 14. Think about that, right? who would you put in? You put Notre Dame in, and you put Bama in. You wouldn't put anybody else in front of Alabama. So, but do you want to expect that? Do you want that? No, you want Bama to go out and win, take care of their business. How do they do that? I think we come out with a lot of 4 wides and 5 wides, spread them out. And if we're going to run the ball inside, we use it kind of a wildcat out of the 5 wide with our quarterback, and you can run it inside because you've now spread them out. The other thing I would do against this Georgia team, if I'm going to run the ball inside, I would make my splits just a little bit wider this week. Just a little bit wider to create a natural hole, a natural gap, a little bigger hole inside if we're determined to stay there. But actually, I probably would stay with my normal splits or shrink it down and try to get on the edge with with stretch plays, which gives the option of the running back to take that C gap or the D gap inside the tackle and tight end when we have a tight end, or if we're just a tackle, give them an option to get on the edge. I would run some toss sweeps or jet sweeps, anything to get me outside of the fray of their front 7. That would be a part of my game plan. I would use screens and draws. We've talked about it all week. Will we see any of that? I do not know. But from a defensive side of the ball, I think our defense plays big this week. I think that Will Anderson, the Terminator, lives up to his name, despite the fact that they're going to try to double team him. Look for him to still have a big game and big impact, even if it is resulting in someone else making plays like Jed Cohen talked about, Dallas Turner maybe benefiting or others. Run defense has to be huge. Take away the run. Make Stetson Bennett beat you. Make Stetson beat you. Make Stetson beat you. Do not allow Georgia to be balanced, and Alabama has a chance. Alabama can take care of business if they do those things. Watch Alabama's wide receivers against Georgia's DBs. I believe that is, of course, we talked about the line, but the key matchup is how much success will our wide receivers have against the Georgia DBs. If Jamison Williams can get loose and have some big plays, Alabama takes the win. I'm taking the Crimson Tide in an upset. Don't say that very often here, but in a close one. I got the game somewhere around 28-21, 28-24, somewhere in that range. Well, we'll probably kick a couple field goals, maybe 27, 21 or 24. But Alabama Crimson Tide will be the SEC champions, and then we'll figure out if they're able to make another run for number 19. This has been the Martin Houston Show. Thanks to all the callers, listeners, chatters, viewers, and my producer all week long. Come back on Monday, and we'll be breaking down, hopefully after a victory. But either way, we'll be here on Monday, 6 o'clock a.m. I'm Martin Houston. Remember this, trust in the Lord always. Lean not your own understanding. Always acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Roll Tide and have a blessed day, and go get them, Crimson Tide.
Thank you for listening to the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.